A new limit has been broken. The new slowest song ever was just created, and I'm even going to show you how you can make one as well. Content warning: this video discusses mental health problems and depression, so if either of these topics make you feel uncomfortable, you might want to watch something else instead. Ciao, Trenders here. If you're a regular on this channel, you're probably familiar with TNYJ, an extremely experimental artist that I featured in the fastest song ever made video, right here. Well, one thing you probably didn't know about him is that the guy has 29 aliases. Shame on Cobario. One of his aliases is called Phantom Vibrations, and its main focus is infinitesimally slow music, or ISM. When we normally talk about slow music, we usually mean a range from 60 to 80 BPMs, which can be found in some lo-fi songs or heck, even dubstep. Well, ISM is a genre where every song is slower than 1 BPM, 1 beat per minute. Imagine hearing a kick drum and then having to wait a minute until the next one. That's ISM. I've already made a compilation of ISM songs, so if for some reason you want to hear even more of this kind of music, you can find the link right there. Let me be very clear though, this is music at a minuscule fraction of a beat per minute, like we're talking days between each hit, weeks, some songs even span years. This type of music definitely isn't for everyone. Like, could you imagine what it would be like going to an ISM concert? But hey, if you have that one specific friend who brags about listening to all kinds of music, well, at least now you have something to test them with. Hey bro, is something wrong with your phone? No, why? Then what the hell did you send me last night? It was Phantom Vibrations' last track. Guess what now? And the next kick drum should land right about now. This genre was first defined by DF, an Italian music scientist who has been experimenting with music since 2007. All the information I could find about him was either from Toby or on his website, where he describes himself as an acronomist, whatever that means, and that his musical journey is influenced by 13 branches that he calls egos. This is a way for him to express his negative influence, as he calls it, due to fragmentation of the ego, schizophrenia, social phobia, anxiety and depression. So yeah, unfortunately he is facing significant mental health problems as he addresses himself as a failed side of a life filled with suffering. His main inspiration is surrealism, an artistic movement from the 20th century that revolves around allowing the unconscious mind to express itself, which, as you could probably see and especially hear, usually results in dreamlike scenes and ideas. As you might guess, not a lot of people are interested in producing ISM, since there aren't many ISM enjoyers, but luckily there are a few mad lads, like Toby, who keep on producing these experimental genres. He's been producing ISM for 4 years now, although his quest for the slowest song ever began in September 2022, when he made his alias Phantom Vibrations. His first song, Enlightenment, had a tempo of about 0.67 BPM, and as of now his ISM discography consists of about 300 songs. Now, I don't like to brag, but it was my video about ISM which gave Toby the inspiration to continue making slower and slower songs. Sì, va bene, l'ho detto, va bene, e che cavolo, un pochetto di merito me lo potrò prendere. Well, after watching my video, Toby decided to continue where he left off, and in 19 days he was able to reach E-500, whereas it took him 1 year to fulfill his so wished for goal of E-1000 BPM on the 26th of June 2024. And here is how it sounds. So yeah, this is the climax of the video. Like, I've just played the slowest song to date. I could just call it a day, put my camera away and start editing already. But something would be missing. Think about it. Toby has been working 4 years of his life making ISM music. He's achieved the slowest song ever. But frankly, what's the point? Like, why make something that's not only undanceable, but also not really that enjoyable to listen to? While talking to Toby, this question kept nagging at me the whole time, but all in all, the answer wasn't really too hard to find out. When you think about it, music has always been a way of expressing our creativity and feelings, and essentially it wants to communicate a message to the listeners, with some exceptions of course. In a way, it kind of resembles paintings and art in general. It's described as something created with imagination and skill, and that is beautiful, or that expresses ideas or feelings. Art is quite difficult to define because each of us has our own way of expressing ourselves, and that's what makes us unique. We all have our own baggage, our own experiences, and our chains that drag us down. And especially when we have something in our mind, something that troubles us, we want to find a way to let it all out. And I believe that ISM is one result of this process. Do you remember when I mentioned surrealism earlier? Well, I believe that it's a great example to explain what is happening with these experimental artists. Surrealism, futurism, and many other 20th century artistic movements all have a thing in common. They were all expressions of something. Surrealism mainly focused on the unconscious, whereas futurism mainly praised modernity and dynamism. I'm bringing them up because in all of these movements, the ways the artists expressed themselves were peculiar, to say the least. And I think the same applies here. These artists, as I mentioned earlier, all have some form of mental health problems, and this type of expression is a great outlet for everything that is going on in their minds. Of course, this kind of music is not for everyone. Like, even I don't really enjoy ISM music that much, and I like extra tone. But, well, to be fair, some of these songs are good if I want a background noise while I'm working on other things. Also, there's one thing to note. I've always used the word song to describe ISM music, even though it might seem contradictory to call them as so. Just like how futurists called poetry what might appear to a lot of people like a random bunch of words slapped on a piece of paper. Even if it's weird and unusual, it's still a musical expression of someone's feelings, so it deserves the name of song, even if we're stretching the definition. But here comes the question. How do these artists make this kind of music? For instance, like if we open up a DAW, we see that the lowest limit you can go to is 1, not below that. Well, even though I can't really show you how the slowest song was made, but more on that later, I can show you how faster songs are created. So I've got 4 songs here, 4 from Phantom Vibrations and 2, one from AXP2325, that is TP's alias, and another one which is, well, the title is self-explanatory, but I will show it to you later. So 1000 of the cold emptiness I feel, which is E minus 4, which is like 1 divided by 1000. So here is how it sounds. I don't know if you remember, well, most of you will be too young to remember, but probably saw it on the internet, like the modem sounds that are like, no, these ones. So if I were to drag it to 1 bar, it would probably be accurate. Let's try. Okay, maybe a bit slower. Hey! So, it, at least to me, it sounds like a walk in the park and a cowbell in the background. But it's cool, right? I wouldn't have expected this to sound like this. Okay, next one. I'm excited already, and I swear this is not for content. I'm literally enjoying this. Sounds of the Void, which is this one. Yeah, sounds like static noises, just like before. Well, so this is 0.05, so I think that this might be enough. That's right. No, I think it's a bit more. To be honest, I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. Let's try to make it ultra short. Yeah, no, still no idea, but it's like an eerie sound. I wouldn't know how to describe it even better. So, Ambienthoven Prestagitato, which is, well, I can already anticipate it to you because it was on the description of the video. It's a little piece taken from Beethoven's Sonata al Chiaro di Luna. In Italian it is like this. I forgot how it is in English, sorry. Jesus Christ, what? No, it must be shorter. What in the fuck is going on? Let's try to... Okay. I don't think this one can be stretched back because, well, it's not exactly the technique that TNYJ used. It's probably a different type of algorithm that I can revert back. So, yeah, no, this one won't work at all. Okay, EXP 2325, size of a bacterium. I genuinely forgot the BPM here, but I think it's around 0.05. I will fact check myself, no worries. Let's try to stretch this down and... Funny sounding, but let's try to make it even shorter because I think it's... Well, no, maybe... Well, I think it could be... No, well, it's my first time doing this. I'm not really an expert in ISM music. I'm an enthusiast, as I always say. But I think it could be something made with a synthesizer, and then like pressed random keys on a MIDI keyboard and then produced this sound that was stretched beyond infinity and then produced this song right here. As you can see, these songs consist of random songs consistently slowed down and then pitched back up to preserve the original sound, because otherwise the sound waves would be so long that our ears wouldn't even be able to pick it up. That's why I can't show you how the slowest song in the world was made, because it would be so brief if we stretched it all back that our ears wouldn't even be able to perceive it. Okay, Calling Out the Void sounds like this. So let's see, I've stretched it like this. Jesus fucking Christ, no. It sounds like it's very subjective because I have completely no idea. So if you have any other clues of what it could sound like, leave them in the comments below. Anyway, it sounds like if you take the turntables and then spin it backwards all the time, like that's quite the sound you might getting, like the backspin. Video here, I can't explain. Still, very interesting sounding. I wouldn't know how to describe it otherwise, but still, pretty cool. Okay, next one and last one is Dead Inside the Morgue, still by Phantom Vibrations. This is 36 minutes long, just like the first one was, I believe, yeah, 39 minutes long. Both of these were really long, so well, at least we can hear something. Okay, let's try ultra short. It sounds like something. I can't tell what, but is it just me? Or is it a toilet flushing? I'm sorry, Toby, if you're watching this. I promise this is what I could come up with, but it genuinely sounds like a toilet flushing. I mean, tell me at least a tiny bit that it doesn't sound like a toilet flushing. So that was the slowest song in the world, and how there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Or ear in this case. Ciao!